I took care of my niece for 6 years while my sister struggled to stay clean, and now she's trying to take her away from me. My sister Lily, 35F, had my niece Emma, 9F, when she was 26. At the time, she was living with my parents along with her then boyfriend, and they had both just gotten out of rehab for substance addiction. Neither she nor her boyfriend were able to stay clean for long, and she was using throughout her pregnancy. When Emma was almost 2 months old, she came to me, begging me to take care of Emma for 2 months while she checked into rehab again to get clean. I was 22 years old, living in an efficiency apartment while putting myself through law school. My parents insisted they couldn't care for an infant and suggested foster care to my sister, so I took my niece in. When my sister completed her rehab, she got back together with her boyfriend, who was still using substances. Thus began 5 years of a vicious cycle where one of them would get clean, only to be dragged back under by the other. I took legal guardianship of Emma, although it was still supposed to be temporary. Every time Lily would bring up taking her back, I would agree on the condition that they both passed a substance checking test, but it simply never happened. When Emma was almost 6 years old, my sister came to me, saying she was once again pregnant. This was the turning point for her, and she gave birth to my nephew, having been clean for almost 8 months. Obviously, it was very hard for both me and Emma, going from her living with me to moving back with her parents. We went to court and worked out a custody arrangement where I still have Emma every weekend, but she spends the week with her mom and dad. We attended family therapy together for the first year, and once we settled on a routine, we stopped. Here comes the issue. My sister is once again pregnant, and she and her former boyfriend, now husband, say that they don't want to allow Emma to come with me on weekends because apparently, she comes home to them acting like a brat. I absolutely understand the issue. I explained to my sister that when Emma is with me, she is the center of attention, and going from that to having to fight her brother for her mom's limited attention between bouts of morning sickness has to be hard. I offered to take my nephew on weekends as well to give my sister some rest or to possibly resume family therapy so Emma could work through these changes. My sister simply told me that Emma would be taking a break from spending time with me. I let her have 2 weekends with Emma, and then when she continued to stonewall me, I threatened to take her to court. We have a custody agreement in place, and I am still one of Emma's legal guardians. She said I'm throwing the past in her face and won't let her be a real mother to Emma. I'm conflicted because I raised Emma for almost 6 years, and I treasure every moment I spend with her, but am I getting in the way? Emma calls me every evening and asks what we are doing over the weekend and why I don't have time for her. Additionally, I think my sister is spinning it as me not wanting her to come. I just want what's best for Emma, so what should I do? Edit. To clear up some misunderstandings, Emma is now 9, and my sister has been clean for over 3 years. We transitioned Emma very slowly. She was with her parents every other weekend for a year, then we had a 50-50 split, and now I have her on weekends. For those saying I'm making it difficult for them to spend family time on weekends, I have always been flexible. If they told me they had weekend plans, I would absolutely let them take Emma. This is not about them wanting to do things with Emma, this is about them not wanting me to do things with Emma. They send her brother to my parents' house on Saturday and Sunday so they can unwind. The past 2 weekends, they also sent Emma to her grandparents, so I don't see how it's that different if I take her. My sister is a stay-at-home mom, she does not work, so she has plenty of time with Emma. She is almost 300 pounds and rarely leaves the house, which always looks like a tornado hit. My parents purchased a house for my sister when Emma was 3, hoping it would help her regain custody. With my brother-in-law working an IT job, they are able to make ends meet. I drive Emma to karate, swimming, and Girl Scouts every week and am in constant contact with her to make sure she is doing well. My brother-in-law has relapsed twice in the past 3 years, but he was kicked out of the house both times, so Emma wasn't forced to witness anything. Anyway, I reached out to the therapist Emma used to see and made an appointment for Friday after school. The way we always do appointments is she gets to talk to her therapist alone first, and then I come in, and we talk together. I'm going to make sure she knows I will always have time for her and will always want her. I'm also going to ask whether she's happy living with her parents or whether she would prefer to spend less time there. Wish me luck, and thank you all for your feedback. Update 1. Hey, I've had so many people reach out for an update, but the last month has been so crazy. So, in short, my sister gave birth, and I now have custody of all 3 children. I took Emma to an emergency therapy session, and she revealed a lot of mental manipulation that Lily had been doing. Apparently, my sister told her that she had to beg me to take her as a baby, and that I had never wanted her and gave her back as soon as I was able to. Giving my sister credit where it is due, I did not originally want to take my niece in. I was in my first year of law school, living in an efficiency apartment, and flat broke. The idea of caring for an infant, even for just a couple of months, while in school was scary, and I didn't know how I would manage. I relied heavily on government assistance and my parents. That didn't mean I didn't love her or that I wanted to give her back. I was trying to do what I thought was best for her at every turn. After the therapy session, I filed for an emergency custody order, citing parental alienation, but also the ace up my sleeve that my sister was getting high, which violated her conditions under which she could have custody. It's not legal in my state, and she doesn't have a prescription either, so I requested a toxicology screening and a home visit, citing the state of the home as well. I had said that the house was a mess, but it was to the point of being a health hazard and a hoarding situation. I was granted emergency custody, and CPS showed up at my sister's door on the following Monday. I knew this much was going to happen. I said in my previous post that I was confident in the fact I could get custody back, and that is because I was aware of her getting high from time to time. To be clear, I didn't see it as a problem. She gets migraines and uses it. However, I was not above using this to my advantage if need be. This is, however, where everything went off the rails unexpectedly. Some people on the last post said that I clearly dislike my sister. I don't. I love her, and I think that most of her troubles are due to her trusting nature and the people she surrounds herself with. However, I will be clear, I hate my brother-in-law. When CPS arrived, they found that my brother-in-law had been growing substances right out of their basement. When they screened both of them, they tested positive for an overwhelming amount of substances. They immediately removed my nephew and reached out to me to take him. They were both arrested on charges related to my brother-in-law's horticultural activities in the basement. I can honestly say I didn't see it. I knew she was depressed, but I didn't see any signs of her using again, and the fact that she was pregnant and using, words can't express my betrayal. I adjusted to life with 2 kids very quickly, but I knew that she was going to have another infant soon. So, I visited my pregnant sister in jail, and I made a deal with her. She gave up all parental rights to all 3 kids in exchange for me paying her bail and providing her with an attorney so that she had the best possible chance of avoiding jail time. Unfortunately, I had to also bail my brother-in-law out and pay for his attorney fees. She gave birth a week ago. Thankfully, she didn't have to give birth in jail, and thankfully, my second nephew seems to be healthy despite her substance use. I have full custody of Emma and both her brothers and am in the process of filing for legal adoption, which is far different than guardianship, but I don't have doubts I will be successful given both parents signed away their rights. I know I'm doing the right thing. The past has shown me that I don't want to be in limbo, waiting for her to be clean long enough to take the kids back. It has also proven to me that I can't trust her. I don't want to co-parent with someone who will lie and manipulate like she did. Emma is thriving. I have literally never seen her happier, and despite some sleepless nights, the baby and I are doing well. I worry most for my 3-year-old nephew, Ian. He is doing well so far, but I don't think it has sunk in that this is permanent. We will definitely be doing family therapy. I hope that I have covered everything. Thank you so much to everyone who convinced me that everything was not right with Emma. Without you, I don't like to think what could have happened.